Hello, Viking Nation. Welcome to episode 8 of the VikingsOwn network. Terrance and I are here again and are happy to be hosting the show. Here's Terrance with the questions.
Okay, our first question is from St. Louis Sports News. His question is, what's your prediction for the Gophers?
Well, we lost to USC last week by 2. We had low expectations going into this season, but I think the strong play against USC, despite the loss, we can go 8-4.
I have us going 6-6 and making a bowl game.
All right.
Okay, the next question is from Badgers Packers 12. His question is, who has a better chance of going winless, the Vikings or the Gophers?
Neither.
Correct.
Next question.
Okay, this one is from Illini for Life 1. His question is, how can you not have Illini making a bowl game? Well, I have them, but he doesn't.
Well, all right, Illini for Life. You want your question answered? Just look what STL Sports News replied to you. That is your answer.
Okay.
Enough said.
Thanks, STL Sports News. This question is from Packerbacker 54904. His question is, how high were you while making the projections?
That's a funny question because he just thinks because we have faith in our Gophers that we're high, which is really dumb.
Yeah, I'm just using logic with my predictions. Unlike you Packer fan.
Bias. Whatever.
Yeah.
Next question.
Okay, our next question is the strangest question we've ever gotten on our show. It's from Flaming Walrus 317. His question, here we go. If I were to travel across the U.S., starting in Miami and traveling all the way to the top of Maine, then across the Midwest to California, up to Washington, and finally ending in Minnesota, and if I were to do this on a horse and buggy while chanting Tribal Native American, would Andre Agassi teleport to the Metrodome and shoot magical winning laser bolts with his tennis racket wand to make the Vikings super beings capable of dominating the whole world?
Yes.
I agree.
All right. Cool.
Okay, now we're on to our show.
Viking football is in the air. Week 1, Vikings at Chargers this Sunday. I am excited.
Yes, the whole city, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Viking fever. Everyone's in Viking gear. Everyone's pumped. I'm in my Adrian Peterson jersey. It's just everyone's ready for football.
I'm wearing my Jared Allen jersey. I cannot wait for the season to start. It's only a few days away now. Vikings kick off. Chargers, be ready.
Yes, and it's Donovan McNabb's first game.
The debut of a hero.
Yes, that hero looked really good in the preseason. Like, he didn't have stats like crazy, but he looked good with the offense.
We weren't showcasing him to be a great performer in the preseason. We're going to wait for the regular season for him to truly blossom.
Yep, Christian Ponder looked good as backup. I'm excited for the future, but right now we're talking 2011 season, and that's McNabb.
McNabb is the leader. Adrian Peterson is also the leader. We've got a great offense
This
coming.
team, we have experience in the playoffs.
Yes.
We have Jared Allen,
of course.
the greatest defensive player in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
We got a solid defensive backs. We're ready for the playoffs.
We've got a good linebacking core, a good defensive line. Although we lost some key players there, we're still solid in that aspect. Receivers, I know we lost Sidney Rice, but Percy Harvin. Plus, we signed some good receivers too. We are ready for the season. Chargers, Vikings. Let's talk about the game now and how we think it'll go.
Oh, okay, so both teams have a pretty good offense and pretty good defenses. It should be a great game. I'm thinking a really close score.
Yes, if the Vikings don't pull this one out, I just really think the Chargers are going to be a very good team this year.
Yeah.
I think they'll win their division and everything.
Yeah. I think the Chargers might have the slight edge in this being at home, but don't be surprised if the Vikings win because we are good.
If the Vikings can pull it out, it's going to be a hard fight, and that's all I'm really hoping for.
Okay, now we're going to talk playoff projections. Okay, VikingsOwn, what are your top seeds in the NFC?
The number 1 seed in the NFC, I have the Eagles. Now, I had them even before they signed all those free agents, so now I just think they're going to be better.
Okay, my number 1 seed are the Saints. Then my number 2 seed, I can't stand it, the Packers, but they are pretty good.
My number 2 seed is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're a young team with a lot of talent. I think they'll capitalize on their abilities.
Okay, and then what are your next 4 projections in the playoffs?
3 seed, I have the Packers. I mean, I can't deny them a division title unless the Vikings do it. I'm just trying to be reasonable. And, well, my fourth seed, I have the Rams winning the West. The West isn't a very good division, but that's okay. And then the two wild card teams that I have are the Vikings at 5 seed and the Falcons at the 6th seed.
Okay, my next 4 picks would be the Giants at the 3rd seed and the Cardinals at the 4th seed, winning the West because they are good. My 2 wild cards, Vikings at the 5, Falcons at the 6. And if you've noticed, I did not have the Eagles. The Eagles will be bad. Okay, VikingsOwn, what do you have for your NFC Championship game?
I think the Vikings will make it, but just to be kind of a fair fan, I'm going to say they lose to the Buccaneers in the championship
So Buccaneers Super Bowl.
I'm going to say that.
Okay, my NFC Championship prediction is the Vikings going to the Meadowlands and losing to the Giants 34-17. Great season for the Vikings, just not the Super Bowl this year.
And I say the Vikings lose to the Buccaneers by a score of 29-27.
And what are your AFC playoff projections, VikingsOwn?
Well, as a number 1 seed, I have the New England Patriots. They are supposed to be very good, and I agree with Chad Ochocinco. They're going to be good. Number 2, I have the San Diego Chargers, who the Vikings play week 1. They have a great offense and a very good defense. I think they can do many things. 3, I have the Ravens. They're a good team too. 4, Houston Texans. They look to win the division and make their first ever playoffs. 5, I have the Steelers. They'll be good too. And 6, little surprise, the Raiders. I think they have a good running game and they have enough to qualify for a 6th seed.
Okay, my number 1 seed are the New England Patriots, best team in football. My number 2 seed are the Baltimore Ravens. Great quarterback in Joe Flacco. As my great friend, best friend, Jimmy has said, he is a good quarterback.
I agree. Jimmy makes great predictions.
Yes, he does. My 3rd seed are the Chargers. 4th seed, the Colts. Even though Peyton Manning's out, I still think they win the division. 5 seed, I have the Jets, Rex Ryan, always a good team. And 6th seed, the Bills. New uniforms lead them to victory. Just the uniforms. Okay, and what are your AFC Championship predictions, VikingsOwn?
Well, my AFC prediction championship, Jimmy Davis, is I'm going to have the Chargers defeating the Patriots in the AFC Championship game.
Payback.
Yes,
okay, mine is the Patriots, and they will defeat the Ravens. Patriots, Super Bowl versus the Giants.
I have the Chargers and the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl.
And then I will have the Giants taking home the trophy. MVP of the NFL, Eli Manning. And yours?
You mean Super Bowl MVP or
regular season MVP?
Oh, well, first off, let me say my Super Bowl champion. I think the Chargers will beat the Buccaneers 28-21 in a very good game. My NFL MVP, I'm going to give to... Alright, this is intense right here. I am going to give my NFL MVP to Joe Flacco. He has all the tools, all the intangibles. I think he can do it.
And
Jimmy even thinks so.
Jimmy called this out years ago. Jimmy Davis, best person in sports. Okay, we're in for a big weekend of Minnesota sports. We got the Gophers against New Mexico State and the Vikings against the Chargers.
Yes, let's talk about the Gophers first. On Saturday, they play New Mexico State. I think it'll be an easy win for the Gophers. I'm saying 38-7.
Okay, I also predict the blowout. But I want to point out that the student section will be in it, will be loud, will be pumped. Go Gophers.
Yeah, man. The Chargers and the Vikings. How do you think this game is going to go down?
I think it will be a close game. My prediction, 31-30. Whichever team has the ball last will win.
I agree. The last team with the ball will probably win. It could come down to a field goal. Something like that. I think it's going to be a great, exciting game. I really think that, this is going to be a very good game.
We are excited to watch on our television set in our dorm room. We are pumped.
Yeah, I know. We are ready to give out shout-outs.
Shout-out time! Okay, my shout-out is to how disgusting Maryland's uniforms were on Monday. I puked.
I didn't think they were that bad, but let's talk about a great uniform. I'm giving my shout out to the Minnesota Golden Gophers and their white helmets. They're an alternate helmet, and I think they're great.
We wore them against Wisconsin last year. Those were beautiful.
Yes, all white. It's phenomenal. I am proud to
Love
be a
the
Gopher
Gopher
fan.
colors and the uniforms.
That is my shout out. Go Gophers. Go Vikings.
Skull.
Go all Minnesota sports. Skull VikingsOwn out.